Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sprint 292 review. This was a normal 2-week sprint. Let's get started. I'll start with the overview, Gilbert on the UI, Adam on providers, and Joe is not available at the moment, so I'll take care of the platform. We had 77 PRs merged this sprint, and a fairly even distribution for bugs and enhancements. And over to Gilbert on the UI.
Thanks, Jason. So for the UI, I fixed in a bug with the Add Automation Manager page. I also replaced the Automation Manager strings with the new Automation Provider string instead. For enhancements, I converted the Automation Task Table to React. I also converted the PXE and window image edit forms to React. Andy converted the Automate Class tabs to React and the report summary tabs to React. And he also converted the service dialog summary screen header tabs to React, and Andy converted the help menu to React. Next slide. For other PRs, we had a delete unused Angular controllers and related dead code PR. Osavod migrated to React 18. Osavod also upgraded our DDF packages to latest. We updated Brace expansion to latest versions. I updated tar and immutable as well. And then we bumped Cypress to latest version. Next slide. For the UI service, we replaced the automation manager with automation provider strings as well. And then we had a bunch of dependency updates, Cheerio, Minimist, Webpack, ESLint, Brace expansion, tar, and we replaced the save remote file Webpack plugin. Next slide. So going back to our UI PRs, for the convert automation task table, I took the old Haml table at the bottom of this page and converted it into a new Carbon React table. Next slide. For the convert PXE and window image edit forms, before the page was broken and throwing an error, and then once I got past here, I was able to get the old form surrender on the left side, and now they're converted to React on the right side. Next slide. For the fix add automation manager page, before when you had no automation managers, it would just show no records found. But we wanted to show the added provider page, so I made that fix to now correctly show that page. Next slide. Andy converted the automate class tabs to React. So on the left, you can see the old Haml tabs, and now on the right, we have the new Carbon React tabs. Next slide. Same thing with the report summary tabs. On the left is the old Haml tabs at the top of the page, and then on the right, we have the new Carbon React tabs. Next slide. Similar PR, the service dialog summary screen header tabs. On the left at the top of the page, you have the sample and basic info old Haml tabs, and on the right, they are now converted to Carbon React. Next slide. And then finally, Andy converted the help menu to React. So on the left, we had the old help menu using Haml, and now we have the new Carbon React Haml form on the right. And that's it for the UI. Next is Adam.
Thanks, Gilbert. Following with the theme of replacing automation manager strings, Gilbert did that in the providers for Ansible Tower and AWX for those automation manager descriptions. For Cisco Intersight, we cleaned up some unused properties from the server profile form. In Proxmox, we got a bug report from a community user that the event catcher wasn't queuing targeted refresh. Turned out the event target parser, there was a string versus symbol issue once it went through the event handler. So I reworked how that worked and also linked up the host to the events so you can see that as well. And then community user fixed the post put parameters. We were sending them as params and had to encode them every time. So this cleaned up the code a bit, sending them over the body. Next slide. For Flow, we fixed a bug with Awesome Spawn creating an intermediary shell, which was causing the Docker wait events process to hang around if you terminated the automation worker. This wasn't a problem in production, but in development, you could get some extra processes stuck around because it was killing the intermediate shell and not the actual Docker wait process. So this uses kernel spawn since we don't take any user parameters. It's safe to just use kernel spawn instead of awesome spawn. And then for Flow Service Now, we added a whole bunch of table APIs, or sorry, APIs for table CMDB, incidents, service catalog, and OAuth. And there are examples in the examples directory of each of these for every method. So they all work live. So if you want to give it a test, you can run the examples for all of those and see how they work. And that's it for providers. Over to Jason.
All right. On the platform side, a PR was added to retry the messaging health check before restarting the server. In RPM build, I added a PR to remove Nokogiri SO files for other Rubies. Nokogiri comes with pre-built SOs for a bunch of Rubies, but we only ship one Ruby, so there's no point in having the rest. Also in RPM build, I added a CI workflow to validate the config requirements text changes. It essentially runs the Python install for the requirements to make sure that they're valid and that our Ansible runner tests work. And then on the on the core side, the Automation Manager docs link was added into the settings. For bugs and maintenance, Gilbert had a number of PRs to replace the Automation Manager strings with Automation Provider. A fix was made to the Rack Attack throttle settings where they were not being honored correctly. Joe also updated secure headers to version 7, which is a jump from version 3. So that included a number of changes, such as fixing the security header spec after the upgrade and improving the HTTPD headers and the OIDC settings reorganization. All of that is involved with updating the secure headers and making sure that those headers are correct. Puma was upgraded to V8 for security, and we had an ignore in the audit file that was removed. Also, WebRick had a security issue, so it was ignored because we don't actually use WebRick in our production deployments. In the support links in settings, there was inconsistent www.manageiq.org versus manageiq.org, so that was added in to make it consistent. Test Ansible runner execution, I updated that to be able to run in GitHub Actions. There was a few tweaks to it where it needs to run in an Ubuntu server as opposed to on our CentOS-based appliances, and that was the basis for being able to run the tests when the requirements.txt changes. WebSocket driver was updated to 0.8.2 for CVEs. Also, I made a change to avoid installing things the security suite doesn't need in GitHub Actions. It was installing a bunch of packages and the security suite doesn't care about those, so it saves a little bit of time, not much, but less is more. Also, a small change in the gem file was made to sort some things for Rubocop. And finally, we added the missing scope handling to the conditions endpoint in the API. And that's all for our Sprint 292 review. Our next Sprint Review 293 will be on August 5th at the usual place and time. And I'd like to thank all the presenters today and all the contributors to the ManageIQ community. Thanks, everyone.